The Liberals had, through Freedom of Information legislation, got access to a document showing all of the totals of deferred maintenance for health facilities across the province. It amounted to $637 million in deferred maintenance, and there was a couple of hundred facilities on that list. But the interesting part about it was the disproportionate amount of deferred maintenance for facilities and hospitals in Edmonton. About 40% of that $637 million total was for maintenance in Edmonton area. And in fact, there was a top 10 list that the Liberals had created of the hospitals around the province that needed the most amount of work, and 5 out of the 10 were hospitals in Edmonton.
Look, I think we all have deferred maintenance on our homes, for example, maybe shingles that we're putting off repairing. Or so is it really something that we should be concerned about, that hospitals have deferred maintenance? I would expect them to have, a backlog of repairs and things that need to be fixed.
Yeah, well, I mean, any public building is going to have deferred maintenance over time, but there is some reason to be concerned here, and there's a couple of things. I've looked through some of the facility condition reports. The government posts them online on the Alberta Infrastructure website, and you go through them, and there's a lot of different kinds of things. There's electrical issues, there's plumbing issues, there's sewage issues. In Wainwright, that hospital really needs to be replaced.
And that's for the rural hospitals in Edmonton. Yeah. I mean, the 2 in Edmonton that are, I think, in the most trouble, everybody recognizes, and it's confirmed in these latest documents, are the Misericordia in West Edmonton and the General downtown, both of which have colossal, disastrous deferred maintenance issues, the kind of which, could eventually lead to deaths of patients who are in those facilities. The question becomes, if there's $45 million of deferred maintenance at the Misericordia, they had a major flood last week, they had a major flood last year. It's a smallish hospital. The population of West Edmonton is so much bigger than it was when that hospital opened in 1969. Do you spend $50 million to update the Misericordia Hospital, or do you close it and build a new one?
Is there any explanation as to why Edmonton fell behind while Calgary was pushed ahead? And was it like this when it was Capital Health versus the Calgary Health regions? Would this have happened, or was this already happening as under the regional health systems, or is this an AHS thing?
It's a really good question. A lot of this comes down to politics. I can tell you AHS every year puts in their priority list of what they think needs to be done in the province for health facilities, but the province doesn't have to go by that list. They can decide themselves what they want.
Is it like the schools where they can make their recommendations, but ultimately
That's right.
It's Alberta Education that gets to decide which school project is a priority?
That's right. So why Calgary or the rural areas got precedence for a while, we don't know. It certainly
Although we can guess.
We can guess. It has certainly been spoken in rumors and circles that Edmonton has been hard done by in recent years. The numbers that the Liberals received does seem to reinforce that. I can tell you, for example, that besides the Calgary Hospital, there's been new hospitals being put up in Edson, in High Prairie. Medicine Hat and Lethbridge have gotten a lot of work. Grand Prairie's getting a new hospital, so it has been a while for Edmonton.
But I think it also has to be said, when it comes to deferred maintenance, that politicians of all stripes and at all levels rather prefer to open shiny new things than to fix up old things. And so, yes, Edmonton may have the larger deferred maintenance budget, but Capital Health in the olden days decided to build the Edmonton Clinic, which was a hugely expensive project. It built the Mazankowski Heart Institute. It built the new Eastwood Health Center in central Edmonton. It's not that Edmonton got nothing. You can have an argument about whether building a world-class leading cardiac center, which is a good thing if your dad's going to have a heart attack, whether that's a better use for your money than fixing the roof at the General Hospital. I think prudently, you need to do both. You can't just keep buying shiny new things. You also need to fix up the infrastructure that you've inherited.